All right, people. So I want to do a video here talking about CM Punk. I see a lot of people comparing him to John Cena now, which is very, very funny. And I'm going to point out why there's a lot of hypocrites in the IWC now when it comes to this topic. A lot of retards, a lot of stupid idiots, a lot of hypocrites. 10 years ago, everybody in the IWC, 95% of people in the IWC, you know, I exclude the 5% of people that, you know, were still, you know, in their prepubescent states and jerking off to everything that John Cena did. There was a few retards on the internet that loved everything he did. But for the majority of people on the internet, IWC, they hated John Cena. They ranted about him at every chance they could get. They said everything that he did was shit. They said he couldn't wrestle. They said he couldn't cut a promo. They said he couldn't do anything right. You know? And I actually was a little bit critical of those people. A little bit. I agreed that he was being shoved down our throats. I agreed that there was a lot of shit that he did that, you know, was shitty. But I also said that a lot of that is on the creative team, the non-creative team, that didn't give him and his character a good direction. And I did say, like, he could cut a promo when given the right circumstance. He could wrestle when given the right, you know, match. And you know, he did have a lot of great matches, even in the PG era. So I was actually a little bit critical of those people. But there was no doubt about it, a shit ton of people that just ranted and ranted and ranted on John Cena. Now, fast forward 10 years later, those same people are now sucking his cock at every channel. Oh, Cena's great. He's a legend. But they were ranting on him 10 years ago. I, on the other hand, have not changed. I have not changed one bit. I think a lot of the shit he did during the PG era was shitty. He was being shoved down our throats. He was burying people like crazy. But he also had talent. He also had some great matches. He also had some, you know, good promos. But the PG gimmick of him was retarded. He was being pushed on us, much like Roman Reigns was being pushed on us 5 or 6 years ago. And yeah, it sucked in many aspects, but he was still talented. So I have not changed, but a lot of people in the IWC are now hypocrites and are sucking his dick. Just because he's a part-timer, just because time has moved on does not change the reality of 10 years ago, people. Is he still, you know, a big name? Yeah, he's still a, you know, I think a legend. You know, when it's all said and done. But it does not change my opinion on him. So now people are comparing CM Punk, now that we've defined John Cena, and now that we've called out the hypocrisy of the IWC, now they're saying John Cena and CM Punk are now kind of the same. Because CM Punk is now a babyface, and he's eliciting a lot of boos from the audience now. Because he's a fucking drama queen that creates problems. He reminds me of people at work that I work with, that they're always getting into shit with other people, and they're always blaming the person that they're getting in fights with, although it's the same 4 or 5 people out of 50 that are always causing the problems, drama, and 90% of the time, it's women that do it. Sorry, people, it's the truth. So CM Punk reminds me of those people that are always getting into fights, always getting into shit with other people. They take something somebody says and they blow it up. It may not be 100% their fault, but they're always creating problems. Hence, CM Punk walking out of WWE. Hence, the press conference. Hence, all the drama that he creates with other people. Throwing people under the bus, calling them out, blah, 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 blah. Oh my fucking God, shut the fuck up and do your job. I'm so sick of hearing about all the problems with CM Punk. So now people are saying, well, he's like John Cena because he's getting booed from some people and he's getting loved from some people. So the same people that said Cena sucked 10 years ago are now sucking his cock and sucking CM Punk's cock about this. It's really laughable to me. And let me say the same thing I said 10 years ago, because like I said, I don't change. I don't lick my finger and stick it up to the wind to see which way the wind's blowing. Let me explain something to you. When you're the top babyface of the company like John Cena was, you should be getting cheers. Austin got cheers. The Rock got cheers. Hulk Hogan got cheers. All these big baby faces, the crowd cheered them. because they were over. They were baby faces. They should be getting cheers. You should not be getting booed as a baby face. If you're a heel, that's different. But there's something wrong if you're consistently eliciting a negative reaction from the crowd as the company's top babyface. So when people try to say that this is a good thing, it's not. Just like it wasn't a good thing when Cena was doing it. So it's just really the hypocrisy of the IWC is really laughable. The more it goes on, the more I realize that people in the IWC are hypocrites and are idiots. Not everybody, but some people. And it really makes me mad. So I had to call out the bullshit. I see a lot of people on Twitter saying CM Punk and John Cena are the same. In a way they are. But 10 years ago, these same people were ranting on Cena. Now 10 years later, they love Punk. You can't have it both ways, people. Pick one or the other. I've always been the same. I will continue to be the same. This is my opinion. I don't, look at other opinions of losers on the internet. No, I make my own opinions. And I don't watch this shit anymore. So just to throw that out there, that I always tell people that on my videos. I don't watch this shit. I'm looking at it from an outsider's perspective, from the casual fan's perspective. I have a lot more respect now for casual fans than I did 10 years ago. Because I've opened my eyes. I've grown older. I've become enlightened. And I realized anybody that watches hours upon hours upon hours of this bullshit per week, whether it's WWE or AEW, is a fucking loser. I'm sorry. It is what it is. If you get offended by that, I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Live your life how you want to. But, if I watch this shit for 5-6 hours, if I waste my fucking time sitting inside on a nice day for 3 fucking hours, gluing my eyes to a television screen watching wrestling, I'm going to feel like a loser. That's just the fact of the matter of it, people. So there you go. There's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think about CM Punk in the comments below. There you go.